The Free Hugs campaign is a social movement involving individuals who offer hugs to strangers in public places. The hugs are meant to be random acts of kindness or selfless acts performed just to make others feel better. International Free Hugs Month is celebrated on the first Saturday of July and continues until August 1. The campaign in its present form was started in 2004 by an Australian man known only by the pseudonym Juan Mann. The campaign became famous internationally in 2006 as the result of a music video on YouTube by the Australian band Sick Puppies, which has been viewed over 77,201,754 million times as of November 20, 2015. History: the Free Hugs campaign in its present form was started by Juan Mann on June 30, 2004, when he began giving out hugs in the Pitt Street Mall in central Sydney. In the months prior to this, Mann had been feeling depressed and lonely as a result of numerous personal difficulties. However, a random hug from a stranger made an enormous difference, with Mann stating that, "I went out to a party one night and a completely random person came up to me and gave me a hug. I felt like a king. It was greatest thing that ever happened." Mann carried the now iconic Free Hugs sign from the outset. However, on his first attempt in his hometown, where he returned to find that he was the only person he knew, as his friends and family had moved away, he had to wait 15 minutes before an elderly lady came up to him and gave him a hug. Initial distrust of Juan Mann's motives eventually gave way to a gradual increase of people willing to be hugged, with other huggers helping distribute them. In October 2005, police told them they must stop, as Mann had not obtained public liability insurance worth $25 million for his actions. Mann and his companions used a petition to attempt to convince authorities that his campaign should be allowed to continue without the insurance. His petition reached 10,000 signatures. He submitted it and was allowed to continue giving free hugs. Mann befriended Shimon Moore, lead singer for Sick Puppies, shortly after commencing his campaign, and over a 2-month period in late 2005 Moore recorded video footage of Mann and his fellow huggers. Moore and his band moved to Los Angeles in March 2005 and nothing was immediately done with the footage. Meanwhile, Mann continued his campaign throughout 2005 and 2006 by appearing in Pitt Street Mall in Sydney most Thursday afternoons. In mid-2006 Mann's grandmother died, and in consolation Moore made the music video using the footage he had shot in 2004 to send to Mann as a gift, stating in an interview that, "I sent it to him on a disc as a present and I wrote down 'This is who you are.'" The video was later uploaded onto YouTube, where it has been viewed 74 million times as of October 2013. On October 30, 2006, Mann was invited by Oprah Winfrey to appear on her show Oprah after her producer's doctor saw the Free Hugs video on YouTube. Juan Mann made an appearance outside her studio that morning, offering free hugs to the crowd waiting to see the taping of that day's episode. Oprah's camera crews caught several people in the audience hugging Mann as the morning progressed. On October 23, 2007, Juan Mann announced his residential address online and offered an open invitation to anyone to come over and chat on camera as part of his open house project. Mann hosted 80 guests over 36 days. On November 25, 2007, Mann's landlord threatened him with eviction, so he launched an online appeal. On December 25, 2007, Juan Mann published an e-book as a free download. On November 22, 2008, at YouTube Live Sick Puppies did a performance of All the Same while Juan Mann gave hugs to crowd members. On February 13, 2009 a Free Hug Day took place. Free hug signs were also commonly seen at Phish shows at least as early as 1996. Official website: a website that is generally recognized as the official site of the Free Hugs campaign, the official home of the Free Hugs campaign, was launched in mid-2007. This site enables those involved in the campaign to better organize themselves and coordinate their efforts. Many initiatives resulted from these efforts. For example, on the website's forum, those involved in the campaign called for an annual International Free Hugs Day. Juan Mann declared that the day would fall on the first Saturday following June 30 each year. This being the first date that Juan ever offered free hugs in Pitt Street Mall, Sydney in 2004. The first International Free Hugs Day was July 7, 2007, the second on July 5, 2008, and the third was on July 4, 2009. Juan Mann's official blog remained dormant after his apparent retirement but has been updated at times. It proclaims itself as the true home of the Free Hugs campaign and hosts interviews conducted with individuals holding Free Hugs campaigns internationally. Controversy. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, 2 men were arrested by the Commission for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice for offering free hugs in a public space. The move was criticized on Twitter, however others opposed the campaign altogether. Publicity and expansion. In October 2006, a college student, Yu Wei, began a campaign in Taipei to hug everyone in Taiwan. In October 2006, a Free Hugs campaign began in Tel Aviv, Israel. In late October 2006, several Free Hugs campaigns were organized in a number of cities in Italy. On October 27, 2006, students Steve Loftus, Mark Wonicott and Jeff Jones from Illinois-based McIndry University were featured in news media, including MLB.com, for giving free hugs before Game 5 of the World Series in front of Busch Stadium. On November 6, 2006, a group of 11 people led by a 24-year-old man named Bai Gai tried the same campaign in Shanghai, only to be detained for 1 hour for not having a permit to hold a gathering in a public place. On November 10, 2006, a Free Hugs event in Boulder, Colorado was covered by local media. On November 18, 2006, Geneva Online, an online community, organized the first Free Hugs event in Geneva, Switzerland. On November 22, 2 Korean boy students organized a Free Hugs campaign outside the Ngee City shopping mall along Orchard Road, Singapore. In a novel bid to spread the festive cheer, they had this campaign for the following consecutive Saturdays. In late 2006 a Free Hugs campaign commenced in Belgium with events on December 22 and December 23 in Antwerp and on December 30 in Ghent. In March 2007, as part of an initiative to combat discrimination against people infected with AIDS or HIV, the French government called on its citizens to embrace strangers who hoist signs in the street offering free hugs. On April 14, 2007, Portuguese waitress Sarah Vieira living in Newcastle upon Tyne, England was reported on both BBC News and local press to be giving free hugs in the streets of Newcastle city centre. On July 29, 2007, 2 underage boys started a Free Hugs campaign in Amman, Jordan. Both of them were arrested that night. They have been accused of harassing females by receiving hugs from them and violating the law by having an unauthorized cut-in sign that says Free Hugs. Since then, the Free Hugs campaign have been banned in Jordan. On December 20, 2008, Indian composer A. R. Rahman and percussionist Sivamani created a song titled Jaya Se Jaya, inspired by the Free Hugs campaign and promoted it through a video shot in various cities in India. In February 2009, a free hug offer startled downtown Toronto shoppers. In July 2009, a Jordanian radio station celebrated International Free Hugs Day by creating the first Free Hugs video from an Arab country. In August 2009, in Norway free hugs were offered by the Red Cross Youth in the yearly market Stinkjamaden. On July 3, 2010, the first Free Hugs campaign for AIDS was organized by a group of friends from a non-profit organization called Shadow of Bodhi, at 6 different places at Chennai, India. Since February 10, 2011, a group of young people are organizing several events in Portugal, starting in the north and ending in the south. They already had several presences on Portuguese television and have been congratulated by the father of the campaign, Juan Mann. The group remains in activity and continues to give hugs around Portugal and soon hopes to spread love in the whole country. They had given hugs in Vila Nova de Famalicão Poundão and Braga, Guimarães Poundões, Porto, Aveiro, Espinho, Coimbra and Lisbon. On September 21, with Vincent Marques, Fernando Moinho and Edwin Bustos, they organized the event called Free Hugs for World Peace. For 2012, they are trying to break the Guinness World Record for most people hugging each other in Vila Nova de Famalicão Poundão. In September 2012, Polish traveler, Maxim Skorupski went for a trip Hugs Around the World in 80 days, during which he gave out free hugs to 6,783 people in 19 countries around the world. His tour was nominated by National Geographic Traveler as the best journey of 2012. Since early 2013, a group under the name Free Hugs Vienna organizes several free hugs events in Austria. They already had several actions organized in Vienna, and some of their group members went free hugging in events abroad as well. The most remarkable of these international events was the group's support in Conchita Wurst's Eurovision Song Contest 2014 campaign, in which the group opened their arms to embrace the message of tolerance through free hugs. The group is active and continues to regularly share love and joy on the streets of Vienna. In the hope to bring more huggers together to spread love and joy in the whole of Austria and to bring the message abroad, the group maintains a Free Hugs Vienna Facebook page and a Free Hugs Vienna website. In November 2013, a Free Hugs campaign has landed in Saudi Arabia after Bandr al-Swed, a Saudi young man, released a video of him marching in the streets of the capital Riyadh offering free hugs to people of the kingdom. In December 2013, first official Free Hugs wave was organized Trov Slovenia, organized by charity organization Humanitara Ek, each year in May by Japan Day in Düsseldorf, Germany. There are lots of people offering free hugs. http://japantagdüsseldorf/nrw/. In May 2015, two members of the A-Euro-OE Free Hugs Vienna Euro team were active during the Eurovision Song Contest week in Vienna. Aligning with the event's motto, a Euro-OE building Brutgeza Euro, the team went to Euro-OE free hugging a Euro and connecting with members of the international press, fans and other guests in the Eurovision Press Center, Euro Fan Café copyright and in front of the Wiener Stadthalle Arena on the days of the semi-finals. This is the second year in a row that the team is active in the ESC context. In July-August 2015, a mother-daughter team from Ontario, Michelle and Nicole Dion, drove across Canada from Sarnia, Ontario, to Chilliwack, British Columbia, and back, stopping and giving free hugs at various cities along the way. References. External links: Free Hugs Share World, official home of the Free Hugs campaign, Juan Mann's official blog, founder of the Free Hugs campaign, The Illustrated Guide to Free Hugs at the Wayback Machine, The Illustrated Guide to Free Hugs, still online for free, available via SCRIBD, visited October 31, 2013, The Illustrated Guide to Free Hugs, still online for free, available as PDF, visited August 12, 2013, original Free Hugs video on YouTube.